Hello and welcome to gusmcdollgames. I'm Nick McDowell and today we are continuing the Allied Grand Campaign in Close Combat A Bridge Too Far, a game based on the Battle of Arnhem, Operation Marketgarden. In this series we use the missions in the Allied Grand Campaign to illustrate one or more aspects of World War II infantry minor tactics at the company level and below. Each episode we conduct basic mission analysis, develop and analyse possible courses of action, then decide and execute the plan in real time, followed by lessons learned. Please remember to like the video and subscribe for more great strategy and tactics content. And if you want to buy me a coffee, the links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. In this episode, we're in the Nijmegen sector, the Groesbeek Heights tactical area of responsibility. Our objective is the Groesbeek Landing Zone. It is day 1 of Operation Marketgarden, 1400 hours on 17 September 1944. You must keep the Germans from the Groesbeek Heights as long as possible to allow the 30 Corps troops unhindered access into Nijmegen. Until they arrive, this will be the primary staging area and source of supplies for 82nd Airborne. As such, letting it fall into German hands would be a disaster. You may have to fall back, but try to hold on until 30 Corps arrives somewhere around day 4. Historically, the Americans were concerned that German forces would attack from the Reichswald, a forest in Germany just east of Nijmegen. Groesbeek was the location of 82nd Airborne Divisional Headquarters as well as the 1st Airborne Corps Headquarters. Holding the heights blocked any German advance westward into Nijmegen. Let's examine our forces. Airborne BAR teams are the core of the American Airborne Divisions. They use an automatic rifle, semi-automatic rifles and hand grenades. The team leader is armed with a carbine. Use them on the front line, but they should run or hide from tanks. Airborne rifle teams use semi-automatic rifles and hand grenades. The team leader is armed with a carbine. Use them on the front lines and to hold victory locations. They are useless against tanks. Airborne 60mm light mortar teams also contain semi-automatic rifles and hand grenades. Because mortars can shoot over obstacles, position these teams behind buildings or trees. Use them to lay smoke screens. Airborne 30 caliber light machine gun teams include semi-automatic rifles and hand grenades. Position these teams in multi-story buildings or locations with long lines of sight so they can suppress enemy infantry. Next, let's look at the map and do some mission analysis. I will develop a plan and then execute it in the game. Our mission is to defend the landing zone. We have an understrength company from the 82nd Airborne Division consisting of 3 BAR squads with light machine guns and 2 rifle squads with a 60mm light mortar and a 30 caliber medium machine gun in support. The bottom of the map is north. I have marked 6 areas of interest. Number 1, the large open field I am using as a landing zone for supplies and reinforcements. This is not defensible terrain as it has long lines of sight and little or no cover and concealment. But there is a ruined building near where the road curves that has some potential. Number 2, a long stone wall running northwest-southeast that provides cover and a natural main line of resistance. Number 3, a row of trees along a roadway, a good position for high-angle indirect support by fire as it is somewhat screened from observation. Number 4, a farm with an orchard and a 3-story building that promises good observation and fields of fire over the whole area, making this decisive terrain. Number 5, another farm with a 2-story building, also providing observation and fields of fire over the open ground, with the fences providing some cover at ground level. And number 6, a gun pit that covers the open ground and partially enfilades the stone wall. I assess the enemy will use up to 3 platoons to mount a company-sized attack from the east to retake the landing zone and cut me off from supplies and reinforcements. Once again, I will take the defensive, but as you will see, I have no intention of losing the initiative. The enemy's most likely course of action is to establish an attack by fire position in the 2-story building and attack on a single axis to take the 3-story building that I have assessed as decisive terrain. Possession of these 2 locations would allow the enemy to dominate the whole area, keep my forces under observation and fire, and interfere with resupply and reinforcement to the Nijmegen sector. The enemy's most dangerous course of action is a 2-up 1-back attack, again with a platoon in an attack by fire position in the 2-story building, 1 platoon moving forward to secure the 3-story building, and the other platoon outflanking me on my right flank to enfilade my main line of resistance along the wall. This would make the position untenable for me, force me to retreat, and prevent resupply and reinforcement to the entire Nijmegen sector. Attack is the best form of defence. My 1st platoon, consisting of 2 rifle squads and a BAR squad, will launch an immediate spoiling counterattack on the 3-story building to deny this position to the enemy and eject them from it. This is risky, but better than handing the initiative to the enemy. I will use the stone wall as my main line of resistance for my second platoon. I will place a medium machine gun and BAR light machine gun squad there behind cover to stop the enemy by fire in front of the position and suppress the likely attack by fire position in the two-storey building. And I will place a BAR light machine gun squad in the ruined building to guard against any attack on my right flank and repel any assault by close combat. Finally, my mortar will occupy a support by fire position across the road behind the tree line, targeting the enemy attack by fire position with final protective fires and also engaging any targets of opportunity. The mission of the infantry in sustained defence is, with the support of the other arms, to stop the enemy by fire in front of the battle position, to repel his assault by close combat if he reaches it, and to eject him by counterattack in case he enters it. We have 30 minutes to achieve our objectives. I will now move my troops into position and execute the plan in real time. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the various courses of action and if you have identified a viable alternative. If you want to speed things up, just skip ahead every few seconds and see the battle unfold. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more great strategy and tactics content. And so we begin. Our rifle squad begins their counterattack by moving on the three-storey building and immediately comes under fire and goes to ground. I call in a fire mission from the mortar. I also locate a Schützen squad along the wall next to the farm. Time for my medium machine gun to start suppressing the two-storey building as they locate a second Schützen squad there too. I bring in fire on the first Schützen squad and locate a reserve squad behind them. My rifle squad rushes the three-storey building, occupies it, gets into a grenade duel with the enemy infantry and takes a casualty. I locate an MG42 squad in the open, crawling towards the attack by fire position. This is a high payoff target and I retask my machine gun. At my main line of resistance, my BAR light machine gun squads target a German Schützen squad that has me enfiladed. I give them frontal and flanking fire. Meanwhile, 1st Platoon's battle continues. Second Platoon and the Schützen squad trade casualties, and the enemy start crawling away. It looks like the enemy has executed the most dangerous course of action, but the troops covering my right flank are repelling the assault by close combat. Back at 1st Platoon, the plan to eject the enemy by counterattack is working and has denied the enemy the three-storey building, but casualties continue to mount on both sides in a close quarters battle. Second Platoon identifies a second MG42 squad about to enfilade the main line of resistance. Another high payoff target, and my BAR squad switches fire to deal with the threat. My medium machine gun continues to target the 1st MG42 squad. Eliminating these threats could be the key to victory. The 2nd MG42 squad takes a casualty and is suppressed. The last survivor of the rifle squad in the 3-story building has had enough and surrenders. But it sounds like the Germans are losing squad leaders and having their own morale issues. My medium machine gun is now out of ammunition. This is a shame because he is not out of targets. But the 2nd MG42 squad has 2 members dead and the other pinned. The Schützen squad is down to half strength. I have blunted the enemy's enfilading attack by close combat. Back to 1st platoon, and I cautiously advance my BAR squad to the 3-story building. I want to deny the building to the Germans, but don't want to lose my squad. Second platoon have the enemy Schützen squad under frontal and flanking fire. The enemy are taking heavy casualties and morale is wavering. The BAR squad moves on the 3-story building with not a moment to lose. The enemy have moved a reserve squad into the position and hand-to-hand fighting ensues. The squad is eliminated and I again take possession of the building. Now I can concentrate fire from 2 squads on the Schützen squad in the open. The enemy starts to take casualties and a grenade wipes out most of the squad. Then the last member falls and the enemy's main attack has been defeated. Having secured the 3-story building, the BAR squad moves to occupy the remaining building in the farm. The enemy attack in 2nd Platoon's sector has also been stopped. The enemy begin to withdraw and are cut down. First Platoon now controls the entire farm complex. I am still receiving fire from the enemy attack by fire position. An MG42 opens up on the right. It is quickly dealt with. Their attack has been defeated, but troops remain. The lieutenant leads a BAR squad to clear the gun position. I call in a mortar smoke mission in front of the enemy attack by fire position. My BAR squad at the main line of resistance moves forward to eject the remaining Germans from our defensive position. The remaining enemy soldier surrenders, and the sector is ours.
On your feet, soldier!
The smoke screen builds on the attack by fire position, and an enemy Schützen squad breaks cover.
Team redeploy. Team redeploy.
Second platoon clears the main line of resistance. The first MG42 squad breaks cover and moves out in the open. Their base of fire has switched to their main effort, counterattacking the farm building. Bad move, and I immediately target it with everything I have.
We're losing a lot of men! Area secured.
Second platoon takes the gun pit position, which is empty.
Charge!
The battle ended because the Germans were routed from the map. The Allies gained control of the area, but the Germans are expected to launch a counterattack later. The German forces took excessive losses. I have made expected progress of 60 of 60. I suffered 8 casualties and inflicted 26 casualties on the enemy. The enemy won't trouble us here until tomorrow. Let's examine casualties on both sides. First, the Americans. The good news is that my casualties are comparatively light and only about a squad strength in total. The bad news is that almost all my squad leaders are seriously injured or killed. Despite winning the battle, I lost a lot of leadership and morale, which will cost me over the coming days. Next, the Germans. Wow, what a slaughter. They end the battle with a single soldier from the MG42 squad, a depleted Schützen squad, and an untouched Panzerschreck squad. Emplacing the BAR light machine gun squad in the ruined farmhouse to protect my right flank was clearly the right thing to do. The combination of frontal fire from the main line of resistance and flanking fire from this position allowed me to stop the enemy by fire in front of the battle position and to repel his assault by close combat once he reached it. This was defensive doctrine in action. It was also a good decision to eject the enemy by an immediate counterattack against their assault force, but this was a risky decision and accounted for most of my casualties. Finally, I'm worried about the loss of my squad leaders. The loss of experienced leadership at the squad level will undoubtedly cost me later. But I'm not sure what I could have done differently to avoid this outcome. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate, and stay tuned for the next episode.